did Pimp C really have a tape of somebody in the industry? We still trying to find out who was in this Pimp C tape.
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time.
I know who let them models stick them dildos in them, and I know who did what, where, when, and why.
Now we're in a situation where no one in the public is going to be able to see those freak-offs. They will have privacy screens. The jurors will, on their computers, on their monitors in front of them. They will be the only ones that get to view that. The direct examination has begun already.
Things just got crazy in the courtroom, and now fans are wondering, did Jay-Z really take out Pimp C to keep Beyonce safe? Sounds wild, right? But here's the kicker. A secret tape allegedly made by Pimp C just got dragged into the spotlight during court proceedings. Insiders are saying this tape could blow the lid off some deep secrets, including steamy moments between Pimp and Beyonce, plus shady business involving Jay-Z and Diddy. And if the whispers are true, that tape might be the real reason Pimp C didn't make it out alive. Word is, the tape actually has footage of Pimp and Bey together. If that's legit, do you really think Jay would just let that slide? Fans been speculating for years about what really went down in that hotel room. And now, with the feds stepping in, it's looking like the truth might finally come to light. So now the big questions are, is any of this for real? And could Jay-Z really be involved in something that dark? Reports say the feds are planning to drop Pimp C's secret tape as evidence in court, aimed straight at Jay-Z and his longtime pal Diddy. And don't forget, there's been talk for ages that Pimp C and Beyonce had something going on behind closed doors. Pimp's close friend, Ken, once hinted at the tape during an interview, straight up saying it was the real deal.
They mentioned Pimp C earlier. With that being said, did Pimp C really have a tape of somebody in the industry that would break the internet? You look like you done seen it, Marvin. You done seen it. Marvin seen it.
Tell him who it is.
Hey, man, tell him who it is. We still trying to find out who was in this Pimp C tape.
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time. And, you know, Pimp, he used to be in the studio. And every now and then he'd have a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. And he wanted to do something with the footage, but I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it, but if I could have got a hold of that tape, I'd be a billionaire, man. Whoever it was, they would have to kill me, man. I know TMZ would have paid a bank for that one, man. But yeah, it is a tape.
At first, Ken didn't want to spill too much. He said he was trying to respect Pimp's privacy, but eventually, he did admit he'd seen the footage with his own eyes.
It is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose, you know, as a Montana goose. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they also know who was having money at the time. So it's not really hard to figure out.
TMZ would have gone wild for that kind of dirt. Luckily, when the interviewer kept pushing, Pimpin' started dropping clues about who was really in that tape. He said it straight. One of the biggest R&B queens in the game was featured. She was right there in the studio during the recording. But get this, Pimp C himself wasn't even in the tape.
Was it a decent tape, by the way?
Well, you know, we was sitting at his mama house, and I was showing him my movie that was yet to come out, Pimpology. And so he said, Ken, I got something to show you, man. So he seen it, you know, me, you know, I'm saying, man, you know, me coming from the P world, you know, I ain't trying to see no.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I seen who it was. I'm like, damn, her? I said, man, damn, she R&B, ain't she? You know what I'm saying?
Big time.
I said, him? I said, man, he married and he got a bank. You know what I'm saying? I said, I hope this don't get out. So it was more like that with me. So, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it wasn't no real, like, tape. They were just getting their freak on. You know what I'm saying?
In the studio.
In the studio. And Pimp just had a camcorder. He was in the booth.
That twist had people stunned. Now, if you look at who Pimp was running with at the time, and the hints Pimpin' dropped, it doesn't take a genius to connect the dots. All signs pointed to none other than Beyonce, aka Queen Bey. At first, Nobody really took what Pimpin' said seriously, but now that it's resurfacing, fans are realizing he wasn't just talking out of nowhere. And that's when things take a darker turn. One fan online even claimed that Beyonce's own parents were behind the scenes, pushing her into these situations for cash, all while hiding behind their Southern church image. It's a shocking claim, but a lot of folks think the pattern hasn't stopped.
She was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough, because she just started all the girls.
Now here's where it gets even messier. Bun B, the other half of UGK, spilled some serious tea about Jay-Z. He said Jay used to get real jealous of Pimp C. There was this one time Pimp, Bey, and a few others were in the studio just vibing. And out of nowhere, Jay-Z called up asking who was around and what Beyonce was wearing.
None of us have ever really been this close to her as the full-fledged superstar that she is now. I think this is during the scene with the chairs. So it's like her and several other girls, and they all have these short skirts on or dresses, whatever, and they're all dancing seductively on the chair. They've got a leg up on the chair so you can kind of see the thigh and maybe a little bit of butt if you're staring hard enough. And Jay-Z calls and talks to one of her assistants. If I had to guess, it would be her cousin Angie that he would have talked to, because Angie has always been the right hand to Beyonce. And he's like, yeah, how's the video going? Oh, it's going good. Are the guys there? Yeah, they're there. You know, it's them and some of their homies. And we're the only, all of the guys that are with us are the only men there. And well, let's say this. There were other men there, but they weren't straight.
Sure.
So he's like, wait a minute, how many dudes are there? And so she's like, oh, it's about 9 or 10 guys, I guess, over there. Where are they now? They're in the soundstage. They're kind of watching, watching her film. What is she wearing?
When he found out she was rocking something tight and revealing, Jay got heated and demanded all the guys leave the studio immediately. Pimp and the rest got sent straight to the dressing rooms. Later, Beyonce came over and apologized, telling them Jay didn't like her dancing around other dudes like that.
They described the outfit, and he's like, yo, clear the room.
Wow.
So they immediately come over to us, and they kick all of us out, send us up to our dressing rooms.
Wow.
And we're told to stay there until we have to shoot.
Okay.
We're not allowed to watch Beyonce dance anymore in the video. And so I guess Beyonce gets wind of the call. She comes up and she apologizes.
Wow.
To us for having to, I'm so sorry you guys had to leave the room, but Jay's not comfortable.
Let's be real. Jay-Z probably had nightmares about Pimp C swooping in and stealing his girl. But the wildest part? That might have been the least of his problems. According to Bun B, Beyonce's own father, Matthew Knowles, once straight up asked Pimp C to take Bey out for a fun night. You know what that means? This was way back before Destiny's Child blew up. UGK and the early girl group were recording in the same building, just doing their thing. Pimp popped in to say what's up, and Bey, still up and coming at the time, was a little caught off guard. But Matthew, he noticed the vibe immediately and tried to take advantage of the moment.
There's a lot of our guys in there. There's a shit ton of Rap-A-Lot guys in the building. And Destiny's Child is recording in another room in the studio.
Okay.
And so Pimp goes in, they're like, Destiny's Child over. He's like, oh, I want to meet them. They tight. He goes in and he introduces himself. And I guess Beyonce was kind of taken aback that she was meeting Pimp C. Again, this was before Destiny's Child was a worldwide phenomenon. And so he comes back in the studio and we're recording and hanging out. And Matthew Knowles comes in and he asks, Pimp, can I talk to you for a minute? And so they leave out for a couple of minutes and Pimp comes in and he's dying laughing. And we're like, what's wrong? He's like, yo, Matthew Knowles just told me don't fuck his daughter, man, please.
Fast forward to today, and the biggest problem Beyonce's facing isn't just people digging up her past. It's that her deepest secrets might be aired out in open court. And that's not even the half of it. Word on the street is that the feds believe that tape, the one tied to Pimp C, is the real reason Jay might have wanted him out the picture. Yeah, it's getting that serious. When Pimp C passed, it left fans with a ton of questions. He was found dead in his hotel room on December 4th, 2007. The coroner said it was from a deadly combo of lean and his sleep apnea condition. He was staying at the Mondrian Hotel out in West Hollywood, California. He'd been in the city working on new music and doing shows with Too Short. Everything seemed cool until it wasn't. That morning, everything flipped upside down. Pimp C was supposed to catch a flight, but never showed up. His wife got worried and called the hotel. When staff went to check on him, that's when things took a dark turn. Sadly, when hotel staff opened the door, they found Pimp C unresponsive on the floor. Emergency services were called right away, but it was already too late. Paramedics confirmed he was gone. Just like that, Pimp C was pronounced dead at only 33 years old. The coroner's report ruled it an accident. They said he died from a mix of codeine and promethazine, aka lean, on top of his sleep apnea. On the surface, it looked like a tragic but simple case. But things didn't add up until Pimp's manager, Rick Martin, started talking. DJ Paul from 3-6 Mafia shared what Martin saw when he got to the scene, and it was chilling. He said Pimp's body was laid out like he was praying, but there was blood all around, like he'd been shot. For a minute, they actually thought he'd taken a bullet to the head because there was blood everywhere, but nobody knew exactly what happened. He was found kneeling, like in prayer. And the weirdest part? The tall candles he always lit before bed had burned all the way down. That meant he'd probably been dead for hours, maybe even a full day. Pimp was known for lighting those candles every night before he slept, so the timing made people suspicious real quick. Even Too Short, who was with Pimp the night before he died, said the whole thing felt off.
I just heard parts like, I'm like, what happened to my guy?
Right.
And then they come out with the official. It was a mixture of some stuff, the prescription and something else or something that I don't really know. But with me, I never really heard something that would give that closure for me. I never really heard anything tangible or true, like what happened to my guy.
Right.
So
That's crazy.
I have this theory that's bigger than just Pimp C.
In an interview, he said, "I can't believe it's been 10 years. I still, to this day, can't accept the circumstances." He added that it's always the same story. Artists being found alone in hotel rooms under strange situations. Too Short even said, "It's always some weird setup, some hotel, some strange mess. And I'm just sitting here like, what the hell is going on with all these celebrities in hotel rooms?" People are starting to ask serious questions, and it all ties back to the infamous 27 Club. You ever heard of it? If not, here's the deal. The 27 Club is this eerie pattern where a bunch of music legends like Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain, and Jimi Hendrix all died at the age of 27. And no, it's not just some spooky rumor. The list of names is real, and it's long. So when Too Short made those comments about Pimp C's strange death, it set off alarms. In Hollywood, strange deaths that look accidental? That's not exactly rare. Fans have been putting the pieces together for years. Just look at the way Kim Porter passed from pneumonia, or how Prince's supposed overdose played out, or even DMX's sudden death. In each case, people claim there were hidden clues, like someone was covering it all up. Same thing with Pimp C. Everything got swept under the rug, until now. Because guess what? That secret tape is about to hit the courtroom, and the feds are finally circling back around. And yeah, they're looking right at Jay-Z. Why Jay? Well, for starters, Pimp supposedly had something going with Beyonce, and there's a tape to back it up. On top of that, folks are saying the whole situation had Jay's fingerprints all over it. And let's not forget, Jay and Pimp C weren't just casual industry friends. They had history. They first teamed up in 1999 for Big Pimpin', which became a massive hit. But behind the scenes, it wasn't all love. In a 2005 MTV interview, Pimp C admitted he didn't even want to do the song. He said, "It sounded like a pop record to me. I didn't want to do it. It scared me because I didn't know how people was going to take us going in that direction." Jay-Z had to convince him, saying, "Look, family, it's going to be the biggest record of your career." So yeah, while they were making hits in public, behind closed doors, it was a whole different story. "If you won't do it for yourself, just do it for me." That's what Jay told him. And that was enough to get Pimp C on board. He hopped on the track, and Big Pimpin' became a monster hit. You'd think that kind of success would squash any bad blood, but Pimp C wasn't letting anything go. Truth is, he never liked Jay-Z, and he didn't keep that a secret either. According to Bun B, when it was time to shoot the music video, Pimp straight up ghosted the whole thing.
I'm like, all right, let's do it.
And Pimp like, I'm not going no mother Trinidad, shoot no goddamn video. Because he had just bought a new car. He had a new lady friend at the time. And he felt he didn't want to leave the situation to go do the video.
Left them hanging. And yeah, it wasn't an accident. He did it just to mess with Jay. So what was the beef really about? Turns out Pimp wanted Jay to do right by Pac. He was pushing for that $1 million collab check to go straight to Tupac's mom.
Who was that with? I said, with Rockefeller. He was like, what? I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm watching Dan with the checkbook, he's writing out. He was like, ain't that with, over there with Jay-Z? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, tell him to take that check and go give it to Tupac mama, man. He's gonna be stealing all my shit. I was like, what?
He thought it was only right, but Jay, he heard everything. And if there's one thing he can't stand, it's anyone calling him out or testing his power. That's where things started to boil over. But here's where it got real deep. Pimp didn't just call out Jay, he called out the whole system. In one interview, he put it all out there, saying he knew exactly how Jay-Z and Diddy moved behind the scenes. He didn't like it, didn't respect it, and made it clear that kind of shady industry lifestyle wasn't for him. He said he was about family, not backroom deals.
He ain't never been.
And watch this, boy. I'm gonna say this too, these niggas out there think this shit is cool, but it ain't cool. Me and this man ain't never been butt naked in no room together with no hoes.
Joe to see a Puffy on any of them niggas. Yeah. They been at my house. They all see me. They all know I'm a big.
Yeah. Pulling no orgy type shit or doing none of that whole ass shit you out there be doing, thinking you doing some fly shit. If you're in a room naked with some other and some broad and looking at your ass, and if that shit is gay, and you need to get on some other shit. Me and this man got nothing but respect for each other. We ain't never pulling no train. We ain't no motherfucking freaks. We some family men. We getting this paper. You know what I'm talking about? And I had to put that out there, boy, because a lot of niggas doing a lot of fugazi and shit.
Now that kind of truth-telling, that made him a target. But Pimp didn't flinch. He stayed true to himself and kept living his life the way he wanted.
I know who let them models stick them dildos in them, and I know who did what, where, when, and why.
No matter who it rubbed the wrong way. If Pimp C had realized just how powerful the people around him really were and backed off, he might still be here today. That's exactly what Jaguar Wright believes. In her eyes, Jay-Z didn't just sit back. She says he made sure Pimp got taken out.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough? You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston?
And if the feds decide to actually dig deep into the rumors, things could get even messier, because Diddy might be in the hot seat too. Let's be real, Jay and Diddy have been tight for years. So if Jay was really looking to get rid of the man who was getting too close to his wife, are we supposed to believe he didn't call his most powerful friend for help? Jaguar doesn't think so. In fact, she said before that Jay asked Diddy to handle other situations for him.
Will Diddy start snitching?
He better. But the only thing I'm interested in him talking about is everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White. See, I know you know what happened to Corey. Diddy, I know that. You and Jay-Z down in Vegas at Tao with Claudia. Why don't you just talk about Kathy?
Like what allegedly went down with Kathy White, Jay's former mistress. It's all stacking up, and fans are starting to believe the whispers might actually be facts. Truth is, the rumors about Pimp C's death never sat right with people, and now it looks like the truth is clawing its way to the surface. Only thing left to ask, will those who were really involved finally be held accountable? So what do you think? Is Jay-Z about to face real heat? Could Diddy end up caught in the crossfire? Are the feds finally ready to pull the curtain back? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share if you're keeping up with this wild ride. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss what's coming next. We'll catch you in the next one.